Zebra rope swinging under the opening credits tells me all I need to know about how this movie will treat physics and science and logic. Okay, penguins and zebras in the same spot? That's some chicanery right there. And also, unlike peacocks, who everyone knows can fly, penguins are actually flightless birds, so this is someone's fantasy. Here's some math for you. Cartoon physics squared equals dream cartoon physics. The lion can catch up to the zebra running only on his back feet.
Surprise!
It was all a dream cliche. Also, I guess a treadmill is a creative way for him to get some exercise, but the Central Park zookeeper is probably experiencing daily fits of anxiety over the possibility of a random visit from the representative of the Zoological Association of America, because all of these enclosures don't even come remotely close to meeting their standards.
Alex! Do not interrupt me when I'm daydreaming!
This zoo was apparently designed on a decommissioned mini golf course where they just installed a few 3-foot fences and decided that was enough. Hoof mill? Is there a whole line of athletic equipment for animals in this universe?
What's your mouth for? Right here. What the heck is this doing in there?
It is a giant glass ball. That is a very good question. Why not hide something, say, in your mane?
These aren't even on the shelf yet.
Then where the did he get it? Even in this universe, he's still just a lion. It's not like the Central Park Zoo merchandising department is running product by him for his approval. I guess security is so lax at this zoo that all the animals are able to easily escape their enclosures and basically roam free, allowing Alex to waltz into the gift shop and take whatever he wants. Also, based on this picture, Alex has pretty decent handwriting for a lion who has paw/hand hybrids. They're still better than regular paws, but one would assume that he would still have a disadvantage. Also, there's a putter, which further supports my the zoo used to be a mini golf course theory. None of the people in all of these apartments back here notice the lion and zebra casually acting like friends. This zoo has a terribly unsafe and unsecure lion enclosure.
Whoa, let's go!
Did that giraffe just use the toilet? I've been to the Central Park Zoo, and it looks nothing like this, but whatever. Cartoon, I guess. This monkey fishes out coffee, a newspaper, and a bagel without even looking down at the trash can. This speaks either to the hyper-intelligence of this monkey, or the extreme predictableness of the general American zoo visiting public. Also, the zoo just opened, so the janitor didn't empty the trash last night. Nice job, dude.
Ziploc fresh!
This is such a random brand shout-out, I wonder if Ziploc helped underwrite this movie. So this lion display is the lion standing on 2 feet on a pedestal, posing, surrounded by fireworks? That's actually incredible. I can't tell, is that blue steel? Given the context, it's probably La Tigre. Man, I wish the animals at my local zoo did cool stuff like this. They mostly hide, which is why a standard zoo visit for me is basically I Spy. Sexy hippo ripoff from Fantasia. Add plus one more sin for making me write the word sexy hippo. After this picture was taken, I bet that MRI tech said to the photographer, "Excuse me, but there should be no electronic equipment near the MRI." And the photographer replied, "But it's outside, sitting in the grass. That can't be good for it either." Then the technician laughs slightly, snaps his neck, and drags him off.
We've broken our last shovel.
They've tunneled through concrete with a common plastic spoon? Just give them their freedom. They f***ing earned it, no? Movie devotes too many seconds to fart noises. There is no visible reason Marty is able to hold anything. He's definitely past Mr. Ed on the anthropomorphism of equine scale, but he's clearly not at the BoJack Horseman level of being able to hold stuff.
What continent is this?
Manhattan.
Even zebra New Yorkers think that they are so important that their island qualifies as a continent. I hope that person who threw that underwear is from another country, and his only exposure to American culture was a Tom Jones concert he once went to, and he is under the impression that Americans just throw underwear at anyone who is receiving praise. So each animal gets a personalized meal, served by their own separate chefs, and displayed on a literal silver platter made in their image. How much is admission to this f***ing zoo? Did he not get an actual dinner like the rest of them? This zoo may be actively trying to kill this giraffe. Are we sure this isn't the Copenhagen Zoo?
You look like a monkey. You smell
like
1, 2.
I say.
A monkey, like their colleagues at the zoo? It's not just the penguins. All the animals here are racist.
This is a highly refined type of food thing.
You ever thought there might be more to life than steak, Alex?
Alex temporarily forgets what steak was called. Is that a giant steak? As big as a lion's head? Or is this a weirdly small lion?
What's eating him?
All the stuff Marty just spelled out literally seconds ago is what's eating him, but later it will be Alex.
Not gonna find a star like that in the wild.
Helicopter.
This helicopter appears out of nowhere and is stationary until Marty says what it is. Maybe this is one of San Andreas' magical helicopters that can do impossible things. The f***? Do they all have their own light switches? Clap on heater. Marty turned off the ambiance with a reverse Fonzie. Why is Zebra the only zoo inhabitant with tons of light on him during this pullback shot?
You suck your thumb?
Better question, you have thumbs?
You know how I have that bladder infection and I have to get up every 2 hours? Well,
You know how I have a giant bruise on my head from you beating me with the fact that Melman is debilitatingly ill? I've been trying to avoid commenting on the way these characters look, because they're clearly stylized and I don't find anything wrong with that, really. I don't. But Melman's neck is too far from actual giraffe anatomy. I feel like I'm looking at a giraffe who has broken his neck. Maybe that's why he's so sick all the time.
I know that's right.
She's not just a hippo, she's the sassy black hippo friend. Saturday Night Fever existed. That's the whole joke. It wouldn't surprise me if Gloria was in the next Avengers movie. Maybe she can take over for Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
My aunt's constipation.
Let's just go ahead and add 7 sins for every other terrible poop and pee joke in the movie.
if you have any poo, it's gas.
Wipe yourself with a leaf?
It's not a latrine.
You're biting my butt!
Oh, Gloria.
That was not me.
Zebra finds the only time Rockefeller Center's skating rink is empty but still lit up like it's open. If it wasn't a cartoon, I'd make this 2 cents. Finally, some people see these fucking animals. Sadly, it's too late to keep the plot from happening.
Yeah, that's right, a zebra. Right in front of me. Can I shoot it?
America.
Can I shoot it?
Well, that depends on if it's a white zebra with black stripes or a black zebra with white stripes.
Grand Central Station. It's grand and it's central.
And it's a station. How invested in the physics of this cartoon should I be? I thought only the animals were stereotypical cartoons and their abilities, but here we have an old lady with super strength.
Guys, we're running out of time.
You know what would make this funnier? If he had a giant claw. Oh, he does. Great. Several large and potentially deadly animals have escaped from the zoo. And they send in the entire NYPD, the fire department, and just the most frightened guy from animal control. So are they in reality on all fours just roaring, and they just think they're standing upright? Or do the humans notice that they're You know what? Animated movie with ambiguously defined rules. In Madagascar 4, we learn that Alex is addicted to tranquilizers and has forever been chasing his first high. The boxes become conveniently lit when each animal starts talking.
I have an appointment with Dr. Goldberg at 5.
The stock paranoid nebbish character, provided by David Schwimmer. Presumably, they didn't want Woody Allen anywhere near a children's movie. This movie expects me to believe that they ship animals in Ark of the Covenant crates. Some more math. Penguins times 4 equals Liam Neeson. Person can't hear anything because they're wearing headphones cliché. Why are they going all the way around Africa? Wouldn't it be faster to just use the Suez Canal and come from the north? I'm actually curious. Any sailors in the house? Okay, they fell off the ship right at Madagascar. Okay, fine. But only their 4 crates fell off the ship right here? Seriously? That's implausible as hell. Somehow, after being tossed by all these waves, Alex's box still has no water in it. I mean, he should be dead at the ocean floor at this point, no? DreamWorks has an unhealthy obsession with putting large quantities of things in its characters' mouths. Alex doesn't think to pull him out by his feet, thus manufacturing some more slapsticky situations. None of the other animals were exposed to water in their crates, but Gloria had access to these sea creatures.
Alrighty, boys, fun's over.
Do I even want to know what the fun was? This zebra either already knows how to surf and commune with dolphins, or learn that shit on the fly. Either way is sin. Do sea creatures live by different rules than land mammals? Why can't the dolphins talk? This is seriously out of control. It has been all of 22 seconds since the last pop culture reference.
What could be worse than San Diego?
Almost any American city, at least if the weather is a factor.
But there's music, there's people.
Or hyper-intelligent lemurs with a stereo. One of the two. Alex turns into Dick Van Dyke for a second.
I like to move it.
One of the pilots who crash-landed on Madagascar only had 1 CD on his plane. Reel to reel. Dooming these lemurs to be obsessed with reggae fusion house music from 1993. The Fusas have a caveman-like level of speech, while the lemurs are able to speak as well as the main characters. Those Fusas may be dumb, but they really know how to prepare a salad.
So do you have any live people?
No.
Madagascar is a very large island that is home to over 22 million people.
I mean, if we had a lot of live people here, it wouldn't be called the wild.
How would Maurice have any context for the wild if there are no people? Or how would any of them know what people are in the first place? Maybe this is San Diego after all. You would think being a zebra would be a disadvantage when it comes to building a shelter, but clearly it is not.
Shut up, Spaulding.
Not hilarious Castaway Wilson joke is not hilarious. Alex conveniently found all of the necessary parts and pieces to make a Statue of Liberty, while also being a lion. The other hoofed animals we've seen have been able to hold on to things. Melman is not. Why, you ask? Because you, that's why. Just so we all understand each other, these boards spontaneously combusted.
Darn you all to heck!
At what point does a parent watching this with their kids decide to just put on an old movie instead? A good quarter of this film is just references to other films. King Julian is able to use the skeleton hand as an extension of his own hand. This movie was written by 4 people, and I'm pretty sure the script was just a bullet point list of fart sounds and half-remembered pop culture references from their childhood. This poor Chris Rock zebra spends the whole movie talking about how he wants to live in the wild, and the first thing he does is domesticate the place.
Very impressive.
It is impressive. He built a tiki bar in a couple hours without the use of opposable thumbs, or fingers of any kind.
It does kind of hit the spot, doesn't it?
It would have taken days for that freight ship to get from New York City to the east coast of Africa. When was the last time any of these animals ate? For real. It must be like a week. 1 hour, 25-minute movie probably only makes its runtime with bullshit like this American Beauty rose petal steak spoof, which makes less sense for a kid's movie than a Boogie Nights Anal in the Driveway parody. Also, associating Alex the Lion with Kevin Spacey's American Beauty character tells me ahead of time that the zebra is gay, and Hippo is having an affair with a real estate agent, and Giraffe is Wes Bentley, I guess. Weed/steak supplier. For the record, again, this is an homage to a scene in American Beauty where a middle-aged man is having a daydream about f***ing his daughter's teenage friend. A children's movie is a really weird place for this.
Welcome to Madagascar.
Roll credits. Another vine attached to nothing. Regular river dancing is bad, but neck river dancing is worse. Did they practice this dance beforehand?
Oh, no, I really don't think I could. Okay.
Acting like you don't want to do something, then suddenly saying you want to do it because you really wanted to do it the whole time cliché. This heretofore totally tamed lion suddenly has feral instincts just because he's hungry and the plot needs a jump start.
Excuse me. You're biting my butt.
That's exactly what my college girlfriend said to me shortly before dumping me.
What is a simple bite on the buttocks among friends?
Movie backs me up on something I've been saying for years.
Mr. Alex cannot stay here. He belongs with his own kind.
That's racist. Gotta admit, I'm only half paying attention at this point, but are these two things here walking steaks with legs and mouths? Oh hell, it's possible I ingested heroin without realizing it. Or Lion did.
Marty, run!
Lion is tricked into hunting his Central Park Zoo zebra buddy, because honestly, I wasn't paying attention. A Chopped rerun caught my eye for a moment, and when I came back to the movie, this was going on, and I felt compelled to sin it despite my personal ignorance. Of course, the lion survives this. He's voiced by Ben Stiller. You didn't think such a character was capable of death, did you? These zoo animals learn some hard lessons about the food chain, and while it's humorous, it's still largely filler for an animated movie with almost zero plot. Well, this kind of makes saving him in the last scene completely pointless. Also, this movie wants to imply life or death consequences, but only has the balls to do so via the death of an unimportant, non-beloved character. Melman's dreams are coming true. Since it's clear the penguins can make things appear out of nowhere, why didn't he summon a more useful writing utensil, like a pen or a pencil? Also, he can't read, but he can write? Clearly not. Alex the lion is still seeing steaks everywhere. Did we ever get a reason on that bullshit? Also, why are all these steaks so happy about being eaten in the near future?
Oh, a great big part of it.
Alex doesn't immediately eat Marty. What's going on again? I was only out of the room for however long it takes to pee. Is this the most forgettable, successful animated movie ever? I think it might be. The Fusaws may be savages, but they are really into their garnishes.
Alex?
I'd call this an Alex the Lion Ex Machina moment if the entire freaking movie hadn't been obviously building to this point all along. Are fish not anthropomorphic? The spider was?
And his heart is bigger than his stomach.
And that's the story of how Alex the Lion decided to slowly starve to death rather than hurt his friends. The end.
Maybe we could make a few side stops along the way.
He said side stops, but what he meant to say was sequels.
While I think it's funny that these penguins are beating up the DreamWorks Fisher Kid and stealing his fishing pole, I also have to ask, why go through all this trouble to fly to the moon, to beat up some kid and steal his fish? How'd you even know he'd be here? Why are there fish in the clouds? Why is the moon shaped like that when it's really just an optical illusion created by the sun's light?
You see this, Mark? You and me are the same.
It's an extremely specific and nearly impossible African continent mark that will make it easy to identify you later when it should be downright impossible. So the poachers would have had to get here, feed a rope underneath this barbed wire fence, drag it all the way to this clearing, then run back behind the fence and wiggle this rope so that a lion cub would be enticed by it. I'm not believing for 1 second this is how poachers operate, but even if they do, this rope was nowhere to be found earlier, and there's no way they threw the rope that far and managed to somehow get it under the fence before they started dragging it. Also, thinking poachers would try to skirt the rules instead of just breaking them. In the first 4 minutes of this movie, we've seen a father lion try to teach his son about being the king, the jealous lion who wants to run the pride, and now a child lion who seemingly sees his father sacrifice his life for him. I'm just saying it's already clear that 2019's Lion King literally copycatted this entire movie's plot, thinking that this box was made this watertight to float this far and to be this dry on the inside. And here's an extra 50 cents for extending that nonsense for the entire 10,000-mile trip to New York City. Do we really need the Twin Towers in this shot? This movie was released in 2008, and you have to know if you make that decision, you're forcing your audience to think of 9/11 the second they see them. And all I'm saying is, I'm not sure I understand the need to show an era-accurate New York City skyline in a movie that will also pretend this fish somehow jumped through this hole. Also, this cub would have been floating in this box for about 6 weeks and needed about 10 pounds of food a day, so not only is this single fish not enough, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be hugging it like Linus's blanket, unless I'm forgetting the Peanuts comic where Linus had the bloody pulpy remains of his blanket smeared across his maw after devouring it. There are so many things wrong about this newspaper. First, the date is April 8, 1972, but the article underneath refers to things that happened in 1980 and beyond. The article itself is written like a Wikipedia entry, and the price for this 1972 newspaper is an astounding $1.25. This is not what hippo nostrils look like. Sure, we know Alex is a friendly lion, but isn't it kind of insane they allowed people this close to watch a grown lion perform?
I don't know about you, but I want to go to Connecticut.
But in the first movie, Marty didn't even know what Connecticut was, and it was Melman, the giraffe, that suggested going there using the Metro North trains. And they tried to make that trip that very night.
On the loose, several animals.
This news position has the added benefit of telling us all the things we already saw in the first movie, meaning it operates as both a previously on Madagascar and cinematically typical expositional journalism. And as such, this news previous position gets 5 cents. Asses are so funny. Animal asses. How do they come up with this stuff? These animals are now taking turns talk singing about enjoying the act of moving it while breaking the fourth wall, and I've never been so done with a movie so fast in my life.
If you ever come to look us up in Manhattan, feel free to call first.
What is this calling you were speaking of?
Oh no! Smart! He's so annoying!
I'd have so much more respect for this movie if it used this introduction for every single character and just swapped out the name each time.
In the event of a water emergency, place the vest over your head, then kiss your goodbye.
Not only is this a super old military joke, but it was also already used 8 years earlier in Chicken Run. That's right, this joke was already in a scene from a completely different animated movie where a bunch of flightless birds tried to use a homemade plane to escape their situation. Also, the joke is put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. It's funny because you're already moving your head towards your ass. How does putting your vest on move your lips any closer to your butt? Movie doesn't know how to humor correctly.
Aren't these supposed to be attached to my seat?
At the end of the last movie, they were about to go back to New York on a boat, but then the Penguin said something about the boat not having any gas, so I guess they decided to go with the airplane idea between films. But it seems like Alex and crew didn't ask any questions before they launched this broken down plane using a slingshot. You know, for maximum comedy. This plane is going to go from hurtling ass over tea kettles straight into plane falls below the horizon and then dramatically appears again cliche, and from the bottom of my heart, movie, you.
Like when you bit me on the butt?
I guess there are some jokes Chris Rock tells that Jada Pinkett Smith does laugh at.
Now, are the butts next to the croutons at the salad bar?
Not sure. Probably depends on how you toss the salad.
Yeah, dating.
Other guys?
What do you mean, other guys?
What is holding up that beverage service?
Franchise continues to insinuate that a giraffe would want to f*** a hippo without drawing us a diagram. Movie steals the watching airplane disaster footage on an airplane bit from the movie Airplane. This person's hat stayed on through whatever crash killed them.
We've lost engine 1. And engine 2 is no longer on fire.
But the fact that this engine is entirely constructed from bamboo was never a problem in the first place.
I love you, Gloria! I always have!
Man, this movie is straight up stealing from Almost Famous now.
Only 2 passengers unaccounted for, Skipper.
That's a number I can live with. Good landing, boys.
This seems like as good a time as any to sin this movie for eventually giving us the Penguins of Madagascar movie. Not all goofy sidekicks need their own story. You don't see Pixar out there pulling this nonsense. Can you imagine a Cars movie focused on Mater? Okay, bad example. A Nemo movie focused on Dory? Well,
Behold! The lion!
Hey, it's people!
Okay, there's much to see. Moving on!
Right, because it's just a lion hanging out with a giraffe, a hippo, and a zebra. 3 of which are walking on 2 legs instead of 4, and the zebra appears to be holding a nice beverage, but yeah, nothing to see here.
I know you.
Sequel thinks this old lady that beat up Alex in the first movie was so funny that they needed to bring her back at this very moment in this exact location in Africa. Nobody was wondering what the old lady from the first movie was up to, or was hoping that she would return. Sometimes a joke in one movie should just stay in that movie and not have any follow-ups. This may be the most blatant example of, I think people laughed at this in the first movie, so let's force it into the sequel syndrome I've ever seen. Or at least they won't try to shoehorn her in as some sort of ongoing plot device, right? This is a human tooth, not a lion's tooth, and the story of why Alex has been sucking on a human's tooth is guaranteed to be better than this movie could ever be.
It's like Roots!
This 2008 kids movie just made a joke about an 8-episode television miniseries from 1977 about the brutal history of racism through the Civil War. Sorry, I actually got part of that wrong. Let me try again. This 2008 kids movie just made a casual, unfunny reference to an 8-episode television miniseries from 1977 about the brutal history of racism through the Civil War.
How? Me, Alex.
The only how I'm allowing is asking how you made this stereotypical and outdated Native American reference in 2008 and didn't think it might be a tad insensitive.
Okay, well, is there maybe like a manager we could talk to?
Lion Karens.
It's a bit of a dump. Are you sure we're not in New Jersey?
Jesus Christ, this movie steals from everything. Now it's stealing from every stand-up comedian who has ever done a set in New York City for material.
Hey, Marty! Hey, Marty! Hey!
Why do all the zebras sound exactly the same, but none of the other animals do? This is some sort of commentary on zebra politics, isn't it? F***ing Hollywood, trying to put their agendas in my entertainments.
We go over to the dying holes, and we die.
I googled, do giraffes have dying holes? And Google responded with, so, you're watching Madagascar Escape to Africa, huh? How are you feeling about your life choices today? Neckties! This is not what hippo belly buttons look like.
Let's all welcome him back into the pride with open arms!
Throwing a pride festival without a single rainbow visible.
Don't worry, it's just a clip-on.
I know I should have a good hearty laugh at this impossible witch doctor accessory, but I just can't. This seems like a simple thing. Then you have to wonder how they found a bone, cut it in half, and attached an adjustable nose bridge.
Some of the other lions were wondering when you were going to banish your son.
Zuba has known Makunga for years, and should realize that he's being a dick, but uncritically believes that the other lions are talking this way without even verifying it.
We will hold the rite of passage first thing in the morning.
This sets up Alex's obvious future failure because Zuba doesn't know what Alex's life has been like all these years. Still, it's kind of amazing that since Alex's parents reunited with their lost son, they haven't played any kind of catch-up. But who has time for that when the movie's been showing us the Chris Rock zebra herd, the hippo booty calls, and whatever the giraffes we're talking about? Lions don't have time to catch up when all that other stuff that has nothing to do with them is going on, now do they?
Operation Tourist Trap is a go.
These penguins are the Scrat of the Madagascar universe. I'm starting to wonder if animated films in the 2000s just couldn't come up with feature-length stories, so they added short films in the middle to get to 90 minutes. It's kind of unbelievable that this tour guide completely misses this penguin running out into the road, but as you can see, he's very busy pointing out absolutely nothing to his left and not watching where he's going. Just wondering, why does this amazing plan that somehow worked involve hot-wiring the car to drive out of here? Why not pickpocket the driver for his keys? You know these penguins can do it.
Is she dead? No.
The penguins then attempt to murder the old lady after this, but if killing her was so important, why don't they verify her death after hitting her one more time?
Lady, I found your pocketbook.
Wait, you mean the penguins just happened to pull this off in the exact place where Alex dropped the handbag earlier?
I'm not gonna stay out in the open and get attacked by more animals.
So, going out into the f***ing wilderness alone is the best option?
Fine, we'll go that way.
They'll go that way.
You did that the day we lost you.
And somehow it's still there! Yep, that random little paw print weathered every windstorm and is still there decades later with your entire sleeping area that we left completely intact as a testament to our loss and devastation from your disappearance.
We thought they'd killed you.
But my son fought those hunters off, huh?
I guess I get the delusion, but what a f***ing delusion this is. This is a kid that was dancing and playing with butterflies and never learned a damn thing about fighting, but his dad thinks that he suddenly became a great fighter while he was still a baby to fend off the hunters?
You were born with it.
Seems like they might tell Alex what he's in for tomorrow. I mean, he's been in New York this whole time and has no idea what rite of passage is. I feel like this is one of those movies where certain problems could be resolved in 5 minutes if anyone talked with each other long enough, but there are a million assumptions going on, so the movie can happen. Also, this weird where somehow the chief lions of the pride are voiced by black actors, but the chief protagonist is voiced by a non-black actor is super weird. Like, do we think James Earl Jones and Madge Sinclair produce a Jonathan Taylor Thomas Matthew Broderick combo? This movie has Bernie Mac and Sherry Shepard producing Ben Stiller. They're just voices, but that's super weird.
Good night, Alec.
Hardy har, the light switch was a firefly, but you can't just make these throwaway jokes without thinking of the ramifications. Does this mean every day they search for and find a new single firefly that they then glue to the rooms they need the light in? And how do they make sure its light stays on until they squish it at bedtime? And what if the lion happens to need to use the restroom at night? What then, Madagascar escaped to Africa? What then? The very idea that you guys couldn't see or hear people walking through here until now is absolute bullshit.
They took the Jeep, everything!
That happened to our Jeep, too.
Yeah, but this other group of dicks didn't have a strong-willed granny telling them to go out into the f***ing African wilderness, so what was their motivation to come out here? How's there anything left in this handbag after Alex shook the f*** out of it earlier?
We're New Yorkers, right?
And then, as if to admit, yeah, we got nothing here, the movie starts an entire C-plot about New Yorkers surviving the African wilderness, because, damn it, they were gonna reach 80 minutes if they had to pull the last 20 minutes directly out of their Big Apple. Also, everybody on this African tour is a New Yorker. What the f***? Shark is this desperate for food that he'd risk breaching himself for this f***er.
I'd like to kiss you, monkey man.
All right, but you're so darn ugly.
Is this funny? Is it supposed to be funny? What the f*** is even happening in this movie anymore?
Oh, you mean like this is like a dance battle sort of thing? Like a dance-off?
Seriously, absolutely amazing Alex hasn't asked one question about this and his parents haven't tried to tell him. I'm gonna add 10 cents here because this lack of communication is the most sinful part of this movie.
Go get him, Tiger.
Saying this to a lion.
Somebody wake him up!
Why would you need to wake anybody up during an all-important rite of passage ceremony? Why would anyone be allowed to do that? If you're allowed to sleep, why would you do it here?
You told us you were a king, and a king does not get beat.
Who thought that our incuriosity would backfire so badly?
I'm the king of New York.
Whoa there, mister. You're not wearing a pair of new shoes with matching laces, and I'm pretty sure you don't have a permanent box at Sheep's Head races. So unless your Saturday plans involve the mayor's daughter, I'd take a big step back on this proclamation.
I don't know, maybe a little fatherly advice. Like, hey son, it's a fight!
The movie is way too late for anybody to be fantastic at CinemaSins.
Saw. Suture.
As we are clumsily thrust back into the Melman Plays stereotypical witch doctor plotline, I'm reminded that there are so many completely disparate stories I'm trying to follow right now that I'm forgetting they exist until I see them again. It's like trying to follow Game of Thrones, but if the characters were animalistic, often didn't wear clothing, and the stories all eventually ended in an anticlimactic thud. So yeah, it's exactly like trying to follow Game of Thrones.
You've got a brown spot there on your shoulder.
The giraffes will now convince Melman that this spot could be deadly, but the movie is in no way interested in showing us the brown spot he allegedly has during the entire scene. Because as we find out, he's just talking about one of the many brown spots that show up on all giraffes, and that's hilarious, I guess.
My dad thinks I'm a total loser.
So wait, is this the first time he's telling Marty and Melman this? How did they even know to meet here? In a second, Gloria's going to show up out of nowhere with absolutely no idea anything is wrong. I feel a friends have a fight before the third act cliche coming, I just know it.
What's the deal, Melman? Why am I the parade and you're the ring?
Friends have a fight before the third act cliche. Also, now Melman and Gloria are fighting because Gloria's baby got her groove backstory has now taken center stage. Anthony Gatto couldn't juggle this many storylines.
You thought that guy was me?
Okay, so now what the is going on? Some random zebra decided to hang out with Alex and Melman while they discussed their problems? They called this meeting beforehand. How did they find one zebra by himself and tell him they were going to hang out on the airplane? Everything about this meeting is contrived bullshit to raise whatever stakes this movie thinks it has.
You laugh alike, you talk alike.
Is that a Patty Duke Show reference? I swear, the average age of this movie's references is older than the old man character Andy Clyde played on the Hopalong Cassidy Show.
Okay, I can't tell you apart.
That's zebrist.
I would invade a neighboring country and impose my own ideology, even if they didn't want it.
We got colonization jokes, y'all.
You gotta rise!
I swear Melman's neck is longer here than it is at any other time. And then the movie shows his neck continuing to rise during this scene. It also seems like he gets out of this hole without ever making a step. There's probably a lot of argumentative shit here, but I'm gonna leave this movie a sin and run. The other thing about all these stories is that the main story gets pushed to the background so much that it's hard to maintain any kind of tension with it. The movie will waste about 15 minutes with this other nonsense before it gets back to Alex's family drama, which means we haven't touched base for almost the last 20% of this movie's runtime. And the end result is that I just don't care about any of it.
Gloria!
Hippoblocamus.
Her favorites are orchids, white.
Melman's about to run down a long list of things he knows Gloria likes, as if that makes him way more suitable for her than this guy, who's only known her for like 2 days tops. And sure, Moto does only seem interested in sex and isn't much for conversation, but I don't know what Gloria was expecting after such a short time. Also, I hate to break this to you, but knowing everything about a woman you're interested in isn't super likely to make her want to be with you, unless she was already interested. And there has been nothing to suggest Gloria has been pining for giraffe ass this whole time.
And I'd spend every day trying to think of how to make her laugh.
I'd be good if this movie would just spend 1 second thinking of how to make us laugh. But maybe I expect too much.
That was beautiful.
Holy shit! Were they under the water the whole time with the possibility of Gloria and Moto fucking later? They were just gonna know these two hippopotamuses' personal shit without consent? That is a clear hippo violation.
The water. It's gone.
And you're just noticing this now because a fish screamed?
Is Marty in there?
Marty? Has anyone seen Marty?
It's kind of hard to believe that in this sea of zebras there isn't more than one Marty.
So could you please turn around so I can tell you that to your face?
Alex identifies a zebra that is turned around, which obviously makes him Marty, and this is seen as Alex legitimately being able to distinguish Marty from all the other zebras. In other words, this works.
Any water?
No, just more diamonds and gold.
Haha? But also why?
I, your beloved King Julian, must simply make a small sacrifice to my good friends, the water gods.
All the animals go for this, but didn't they send Makunga to talk to Zuba and see what he would do about the water shortage? And to a lesser extent, didn't Alex say he had a solution? How does no one bring this up before going straight to the volcano sacrifice? Also, congrats to all those who had movie introduces a virgin sacrifice plotline in its fourth quarter out of nowhere in the random storyline pool. Please take your tickets to the cashier's window for your payout.
Seeing you every day, that's what kept me going.
I forget, in the trailer, did the big voice trailer guy say something like, "In a world where a giraffe wants to fuck a hippo"? It's been a while, so I can't really remember exactly.
Your son, Alake, he said he could fix it. He's gone upriver.
I get that Makunga would like to get rid of Zuba, but how does sending Zuba away do anything for him when he gets back and he doesn't have any solutions for the dried up water hole? Why didn't he get Zuba's advice first before telling him about Alex?
Alake, he said he could fix it.
Why would anyone listen to this asshole at this point? He's done nothing but lie before and after becoming their leader. You really think people would continue to blindly follow a liar and listen to any... Shit, happened again. I swear to the eagle on the presidential seal, I had no clue this was turning into a political sin until it was too late. Apologies. Somehow the tourists built this dam by chopping down trees with axes they definitely had with them before the tour jeeps got stolen.
Is this right?
Oh, very good.
This movie has spanned, what, 3 days, right? There hasn't been any long passage of time or a bunch of cross dissolves telling us more than 3 days have gone by. Yet somehow the humans have created a Swiss family Ewok society in that amount of time. Lions can run up to 50 miles per hour. Zebras can run 40. The fastest humans can run 20. And yet they will keep up with these animals for a while just fine. Volcano has convenient stadium seating for ritual sacrifices, not to mention a convenient entryway, and a sacrificial diving board. I'm starting to believe that gods are real and built an actual state-of-the-art virgin sacrifice arena. I wonder if they sold the naming rights to Comcast yet.
Joe? Joe the witch doctor? We thought you were dead.
So did I. Then I realized I'm covered in brown spots.
Yeah, but where has Joe been this whole time? All the giraffes have been digging death holes for themselves when they think they're gonna die, so why was he hard to find? If he simply disappeared from the savannah, then how does he know to be here at the volcano? Shit, man, if these giraffes had simply looked down in one of these holes to find him, Melman doesn't offer himself up for sacrifice, and Joe reverses the volcano. It's really great how solid rock just breaks whenever the movie needs to advance the plot.
Did you really mean all those things you said about me?
Skip!
It's crazy to think I had to go halfway round the world to find out that the perfect guy for me lived right next door.
And that hippo also wants to this giraffe.
What's going on here?
How the did Marty know to come to the volcano? He was with all the zebras before the volcano idea was even pitched, and then he left with Alex to fix the water problem off the reserve.
All right. You get your maternity leave.
They waste time on this negotiation, blackmailing Skipper for maternity leave on a job they're not even going to spend more than a week on. Maybe more time has passed than I realize, and this movie is just bad about explaining it?
How about a nice lion casserole?
And where will you get the casserole dish from, huh, Nana?
You can't eat a lion.
Eh, don't worry, it tastes like chicken.
It's 2008, and we're still making taste like chicken jokes.
Hey, I know those moves.
Movies once again prove that there isn't a problem that dance can't solve.
Only one lion can move like that.
Now it's apparent why all these tourists are from New York, so that they could all recognize Alex's dance moves. But if they were true New Yorkers, they wouldn't have been caught dead at a touristy Central Park Zoo show. So this sin goes out to all the posers.
How does he do that?
Oh, sure, New York Apple asshole t-shirt guy can say it, but when I say it, the comments are all like, you're ruining movies, or it's just a cartoon, or live girls, 18 plus here, luckydating.org. Deus Ex Barrel of Monkinus? How the fuck is Nana ahead of them at the dam? They just left her ass behind a minute ago in a plane.
I don't know why the sacrifice didn't work.
Wait, did they sacrifice someone while we were away? They were about to sacrifice Melman, but he escaped, so what sacrifice is he talking about? This shark isn't dead. This fish isn't dead.
We figured you'd say that.
Somehow Nana just stayed inside this bucket without kicking lion ass the whole way down the river. And she's stupid enough to think that Makunga is the one who stole her handbag after this. Also, all this shit with Makunga, which has been built up since the beginning of the movie, culminates in his ass getting kicked by an old lady. I haven't seen a villain this disappointing since the White Walkers.
Do you take each other? For better or for worse?
But I thought Skipper's love affair with the doll was so embarrassing that he gave up maternity leave to a bunch of monkeys blackmailing him during a labor negotiation. Now he's so cool with it, he gets married to it with witnesses just hours later.
Love has no boundaries.
Okay, but love's not going to make that 4-foot-long giraffe penis any smaller, so maybe just a few boundaries. Also, be careful what you say about Gloria, man. Her men can get pretty protective from what I hear.
DreamWorks is all like, do you want the moon? You want me to throw a lasso around and pull it down? Well, too bad. Here's 35 seconds of a creepy kid fishing on our logo instead. Narrowing your location down to just under 12 million square miles.
Just kidding. We're never coming back.
Empty promises.
Initiate warp drive.
Going to warp and lower atmosphere. This confusing board is driving me insane. First, it's clearly divided into 16 different rectangular sections, but for what purpose? If it were 12 sections, I might assume they represented the passing of months. But nope, you went with 16. Second, the squares are utilized completely differently. The first box contains 8 cross tallies, but then it goes 10, 14, 8, 15, 17, 11, 11, 10, 12, 8, and 11. And if you're wondering how I can see through Alex, there's a frame or two where he gets dragged out of the way. And yes, there could be another one behind the palm tree, but I'm not in the mood to argue about Schrodinger's tally marks. The point is, why not make the squares even for easier counting? Third, what's up with the order of filling in the boxes? The bottom right quadrant is completely empty, which eliminates the possibility that this capricious chaos criminal was logically progressing vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Fourth, some of these cross tallies only have 4 ticks instead of 5. The whole point of the tally system is to be able to count by 5, you mercurial mistress of madness. All this puts the total at 135 tally crosses, times 5 in each cross, minus the 12 4 tally crosses, for a total of 664 days that Alex has been waiting here, haphazardly keeping track like some sort of dastardly demon of disarray. And I call the bullshit.
Another day bites the dust.
And now he's crossing off the far left group on the bottom row of the C2 square, because that makes none of the sense, unless you're just trying to make it located close enough to him to make the animation easy. Oh! Doing this much work, but only creating 2 of the 21 bridges that lead into Manhattan. And yes, I know there are many other issues with this representation of the city, but guys, that tally board math really took it out of me.
There's Times Square, with its modern-day corporate lack of character.
Thinking any lion from New York is excited about Midtown Manhattan. This nostalgia flashback will be used to try and convince me this is a story about personal growth and not one about the poor financial decision to buy a circus.
You've both made and ruined my day.
Taco Bell.
Here we are relying on the Penguins to come back for us. We should just go to Monte Carlo and get them.
If you're going to tell me these talking animals can just go to Monte Carlo, then I'm going to need you to explain why they don't just go to New York.
How do a lion, a zebra, a giraffe, and a hippo walk into a casino in Monte Carlo?
You could just wait for the penguins outside and end this in an efficient 15 minutes, but you won't.
We can do anything.
Except go to New York, apparently.
You pillow fight like a bunch of little girls.
Spoken like someone who has never taken a limited edition Pinkie Pie firm deco pillow to the crotch before.
These pillows are filled with baby birds.
Listen, if someone hit me with a bag of skin, I wouldn't say it was filled with baby humans. I mean, after the screaming stopped. No, the screaming wouldn't stop. Oh, I get it now. They traveled by title card cut.
Operation Penguin Extraction does not include levity.
Though true, I do not believe this was a good choice for this comedy.
All right, we take these ventilation ducts to the crawl space above the casino where we find the penguins.
Alex, you've blown your cover by having way too much knowledge about the inside of this structure. Now, who sent you to steal the knock list?
I just need to figure out which duct each of us should take.
You shouldn't need more than one duct, and there shouldn't be multiple ducts going to the same place, but if all that bullshit is going to be true, then why not color code them, I guess? This casino, whose idea of a smart gambling flow is apparently just 7 identical roulette stations in a single room.
Then we'll pick up the hippies and fly back to New York in style.
So Skipper was going to go back to pick up Alex and friends, and nothing that happens in this movie had to happen? Cool.
We'll be rich. The rules of physics don't apply to us.
Thing animated film producers say to justify more and more outlandish sequels somehow makes it into the script.
I drop down, grab the penguins. You crank me up, and we are out of here.
Let me drop down. I'll grab the penguin.
You don't have fingers, Marty.
You can operate a crank without fingers, but you can't grab a penguin. Glad they cleared that up.
These are things a leader has to think of.
Why should you be a leader? Why not me?
Sudden and random power struggle is sudden and random. The glass is not strong enough to hold up Gloria, even though it survived all of Alex and Marty's bullshit earlier. Synchronized delayed panic.
Initiate lockdown and get me Capitaine Dubois from Animal Control.
But under no circumstances should you ask me why I'm speaking English. This animal control officer has decapitated taxidermied heads of adorable cats and dogs on her wall, which fine, you do you in your personal time, but this is a children's film, madam. Not telling us the heart-warming story of these 2 birds that landed them on the same plaque. Clearly this movie could give a rat's ass about my need for closure.
When I was 7, I strangled my first parrot.
Kids!
Now, I have finally reached the moment I have been preparing for my entire life. To hunt the king of the beasts!
So you join animal control in Monte Carlo with the hopes that one day there would be a lion just loose in the city?
What just happened?
Where are we? What is this?
Reading your audience's mind. This is the perfect movie for all the parents out there who struggle to teach their kids that fun can be measured by how much chaos and property damage you can cause. This movie is now insinuating that this character has some sort of synesthetic, olfactory CSI powers that can not only distinguish the smells of the animals, but also the relative body position of all their parts and its relation to the passage of time, and I do not believe you, movie. Animal Control has chosen scooters as the optimal vehicle for capture, detention, and body disposal, putting the attitude indicator where the pilot/driver can't see it.
Zebras can't drive?
That's racist.
She's good.
Considering 2 of her Frenchie henchies made it through with the same move, I'm guessing this is just common training at Animal Control School.
Just call me Mario Andretti.
No, you're Suckio Andretti.
Going with Suckio Andretti when Subpario Andretti or Mario Andretti were right there.
The hoofs aren't meant to be on a wheel.
Said the talking lion to the talking zebra while cruising down the road in a van filled to the brim with talking animals. Brief pivot into Gleaming the Cube is brief.
Don't even ask me about the uranium-238 blanket.
Okay.
Monaco survives this. This chase has been going on for well over 3 minutes, and now they appear to be doing it at speeds approaching Mach 1. And since you can throw a rock from one side of Monte Carlo to the other, I need an explanation for how they aren't somewhere in France by now. Character goes off a tall building only to reveal they landed on a hovering plane below and have survived, except that this time it's on a van that landed perfectly on the tail of a heliplane that has no right to have hovering abilities based on its weight distribution cliche.
I'm
the first flying monkey!
You're not even the first flying monkey in this movie. No, the movie is just stealing directly from The Matrix. And just because half of all movies produced since 1999 have done so, doesn't make it okay. If we don't find out this woman is a T-1000 at some point, I'm adding 1,000 cents. Also, not immediately flying the plane away from the building your pursuer has sky somersaulted into.
New York, New York, it's a heck of a town.
Dragging Leonard Bernstein, Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra, and sure, Jules Munchin into this mess. You can't sustain flight this high above the clouds without needing a roof on your plane.
Why can't we ever just make a normal landing?
I'm not sure at what point it's reasonable for they survived this sin in an animated movie, but I'm pretty sure a free fall in a plane that reaches terminal velocity is at least close enough to attempt one.
Get back here, we have a contract!
Yes, well, I'm afraid labor laws are slightly more lenient in France.
And laws don't prevent animals from doing what they want. All laws do is guide the litigation that occurs afterward.
Well, someone else has the Canadian work ethic.
Thank God a penguin is finally sticking it to the Canadians. They've been getting away with, okay, I'm not exactly sure what, but it's something, and I'm sick of it.
Where are you coming from?
He asks mere seconds before saying,
Absolute, no outsiders.
So why did you open the door in the first place?
So wipe that smearing off your face and pop off.
Vodka jokes, you know, for kids.
They're circus. Circus stick together.
Having the same code as Newsies.
Wow, Circus Americano! You must all be very famous.
All right, so we need to cast a seal from a Spanish circus. Martin Short! Nailed it! Give that man all the money. This circus travels with a seal in the same car as the big cats and an unsecured display of knives, and I cannot even count the ways in which this could all end very, very badly.
We're gonna get off the next stop so we can get back to America.
That is such a coincidence.
Yes, these animals also want to go to New York, and yes, that is such a coincidence.
Although the circus owner may allow stowaways, if the stowaways just happen to be the owners.
Sawing through the roof of the circus train you're about to buy.
You have a deal, mi amigo.
And this isn't weird. All ringmasters keep important documents either under their hats or up their asses.
I am sure this circus will bring you great success.
Buying a circus but not getting the clowns.
I'll never be president.
Well, duh, the penguin lifespan maxes out at 30. Oh no, not the two non-specific gauges that max out at 30. At some point, movie tricks end up having been used so long that they have the opposite effect as intended. For example, we've seen the long, scary build-up to something that turns out to be tame so many times that instead of laughing when the tutu bear on the tricycle comes out, we're just annoyed that we have had to sit through 10 seconds of meaningless manipulation to get there.
Hey, goodness.
Meet cutes.
Lion. 12 hours old. 250 kilograms.
You've already seen this lion and have advanced knowledge of when they were here, you puddle-tonguing charlatan. As a you to Ridley Scott, they decide to set up shop inside the Coliseum and still leave everyone not entertained.
You gotta go back in your mama's belly, cause you're too cute to be out here in the real world.
Suggesting reverse parturition as a cure for excess adorableness.
Circus, Afro.
This is the best part of the movie. Perhaps you misunderstood. This is the best part of the movie. Waiting for the bear to enter the store, purchase, and mount the Ducati, start it up, and then ride towards the exit before running out screaming. Confusing Italy with America.
And if you do anything that threatens this circus, you will have to answer to me.
Movie apparently went to the Strong Woman Falls for Clumsy Man school of Kevin Jamesing things. This child will now suffocate in the fetid rectal cavity of an elephant and cue laughter.
This is not happening.
You have a deal, mi amigo.
Alex was still closed in the train when this was set and would have no idea what the person looked like who said it, and this memory is a lie.
They're demanding their money back.
I think we all know the right thing to do.
After putting on the second worst circus I've ever seen, the animals abscond without all their tents and stuff, and somehow that will not be a problem later in the movie.
What do they know about the old escape a hole? Behind the innocent, a looking poster.
Movie runs through a bunch of prison escape cliches, and I take at least partial responsibility for this.
Or the really old, I'm gonna hide up on the ceiling a trick.
This cop Nick frosts 7 shots into the air, but there are at least 14 casings on the ground, and he still forgot to say, "Ah!" Thinking someone might want to read more of your lazy lorem ipsum.
I don't even know why we bought a circus in the first place. We had enough dough for a play.
I would have realized that one eventually, but I always appreciate the assist.
I used it to buy teeth. and then have him Captain Gold. Now I can eat apples.
And the director said, let's have the minions, the penguins, try and bite some apples so the audience will finally know it's the ridiculous sidekicks in animated films that are the true assholes. Trying to elevate your ego by using the same clippings more than once to make sure the wall is covered.
It had never been done before because it was physically impossible.
Putting this sentence in your movie just because you want to see my eye twitch.
The extra virgin olive oil is extra flammable.
Olive oil is flammable, but it doesn't just burst into flames like gasoline, which would make it nearly impossible to cook with.
He lost his dignity.
I think this King of Dignity certificate might be bullshit, and someone could have just printed Vitaly another one.
His only passion now is the borscht.
Having a passion for any non-DJ item involving beats.
He was our inspiration. So when he lost his passion, well, as Vitaly goes, so goes the circus.
Your star player loses his mojo, and instead of picking him up when he's down, the rest of you just decide to stop trying as well. From the bottom of my heart, go f yourself, Stefano.
We are gonna rethink everything anybody's ever known about circus.
Guess no one is safe from startup culture.
We will come up with something fresh, something amazing, something brand new.
Said no DreamWorks animated sequel ever.
Something that'll blow that circus promoter.
Oops, video got stuck.
Away.
Anyway, yada yada yada, we have to work really hard to impress some jackasses with money cliche.
Now they play Vegas. 50 shows a day in 52 separate venues. And one of them completely in the nude.
There are not 50 shows a day. There are not 52 separate venues. Zumanity closed a few years ago. I'll let you decide which is the biggest sin. Frances McDormand is now doing a Edith Piaf imitation that will give these men super strength to heal and bust out of their protective casts so that they can ride together to satisfy her lion murder boner at a circus in London. How did this movie not win all the awards? Stopping your train long enough to build an entire circus practice facility, as if no other trains need that track anymore.
Rico, get the cannon ready. Same charge.
Except you're heavier and less aerodynamic, so the same charge will leave you falling short. But maybe that's the joke. Nope, the joke is he can literally fly now. Makes total sense.
I'm on a tightrope! I'm on a tightrope!
Accidentally ending up on a tightrope. This is about as likely as when my college girlfriend accidentally ended up on my college roommate.
All eyes on me.
Don't you dare drag Tupac into this. The fact that they have all this equipment raises a huge question about what happened to the actual trapeze artists. When they bought the circus, we saw a bunch of clowns leave with the ringmaster, but that was it. There are a ton of other people and support staff unaccounted for. Alex has never been on the trapeze before, but it all works out because the power of boners compels him. Remember, kids, recklessness equals fun.
Then why don't you lilt over, grab your peduncle, and kiss New York goodbye?
Suggesting anyone do anything with their peduncle.
All right, everybody, let's blow that promoter.
Damn it, video got stuck again. Anyway, yada yada yada, all our hopes and dreams hinge on the perceived economic value of our talents cliche. If this circus was broke, where the f did they get the money for this setup in prime London location?
That's not a red-blooded American promoter. I don't know what is.
I'd give all the sins back if the movie decided stereotypes were bad and that this penguin actually didn't know what is. Congrats on making your circus look like an advertisement for fruit stripe gum.
You're leaving? You're just gonna walk out on everybody?
Duh, Alex, it's called a third act conflict. Did you think this movie was gonna do something original? This movie has had nothing but, what are those called again?
Cliches.
Ah, yes, that's it. Thanks. Hemorrhoids. I'll say it again. It's easier for a tiger to jump through the center of a tiny ring of fire than for me to not tell this movie to go f itself when it happens. Jeremy, 1924. I saw them practicing new act, but I guess I missed the part where they dumped millions of dollars into enhancements for the stage production. This bullshit big top setup that would make the Sphere in Vegas look like a Chuck E. Cheese. They don't get this contract looked at by a lawyer. And now this badass animal control officer who has been nigh invincible this entire movie will be felled by a few penguins who easily put her into a dynamite cannon, proving most definitely that she is not a T-1000.
Jetpacks and quadricobras! I should have known!
She should have known.
We trusted you.
Wait, are there multiple third act
Now I'm getting the silent treatment, am I? Come over here right now. Don't shut me out, baby!
Does this movie really expect us to start caring about the lemur that wants to f the bear when it hasn't even drawn us a single diagram of how that would be possible? The addition of One World Trade Center to the skyline here is nice, except that the circus contract earlier clearly said they would start in June of 2012, and the spire wasn't even constructed on that building until May of 2013, and the place didn't officially open until November of 2014.
If I just stayed put,
we wouldn't have anything to be sad about right now.
Oh, I can find you something. Maybe that your nostrils are completely closed off by that off-putting spiral pattern, so you have no way to breathe through them?
Surprise!
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the Monte Carlo Office of Animal Control does not have international jurisdiction.
Gasp! It's Dubois!
Baba Booey!
Letting your penguins listen to Howard Stern.
They're not even circus.
That's Bolshevik!
It is not. And buckle up, because here's why. You see, the Bolsheviks were a faction of the Russian socialist movement that ultimately, I don't care if they're endangered. I am not paying $1 million for a lion. Making a big show of opening your death dart case and loading your death dart gun on stage instead of just doing all that beforehand. Cirque du Soleil Ex Machina.
Look! A flying circus!
Scene does not contain a python named Monty.
Operation Afro Circus Rescue! Engage!
They could have gotten here sooner to save Alex if they hadn't spent time workshopping the theme of the rescue.
Suck in that gut.
I am impressed.
I am not. These cobras in the pool are the first sign that Alex is about to have to pull off the bullshit stunt involving wires, jetpacks, and balloons that he made up earlier. And not even the super smart penguins will question whether or not they are in a simulation. Discount Doof Warrior.
Frankie, Jonesy, be ready.
You got it, boss.
Would be nice to know what they should be ready for, but if they're cool with it, I'm cool with it. No, wait, I am not. Where was the saw? It's not even the right kind of saw for cutting off heads. Or so I've heard. These rocket-propelled roller skates that have some sort of hover setting are the one thing in this entire closing nonsense that I'm choosing to draw a line about.
Balloons are for the children of the world!
Thinking that New York City is the entire world. Burying her alive is the kind of dark ending that didn't really happen, but if I turn the movie off right now, at least I can pretend it did. Disney. Cool. Got it. It takes place sometime preceding a year before I've decided to watch this movie. I'm going to say this is 1933. Cool. So, sometime in 1933. Continue.
Antarctica, an inhospitable wasteland.
Verneration. Also, Werner Herzog was born in 1942, so he didn't exist to narrate this in 1933.
Skipper, we appear to be flightless.
Oh, well, what's the point of these?
Skipper would be excellent at evolution sense.
Why do you think there are always documentary crews filming us?
Oh, please, there's no way that's a wireless boom mic, and more importantly, this kind of equipment didn't exist in 1933. DreamWorks movie kicks off the plot by having a main character chase down an egg cliche. Okay, it's mostly this and Ice Age 3, but I'm counting Prince of Egypt, because that basket they abandoned Moses to the alligators in was definitely egg-shaped.
Look, he's fine.
Sam Jacksoning a seagull as if your movie title is Deep Blue Seal.
Aren't snakes nature's snakes?
How should I know? I live on the flippin' frozen tundra.
Skipper knows what snakes are, even though he's never been anywhere except Antarctica. But didn't know that penguins couldn't fly?
Gunther, give them a shove.
Pushing penguins perched on a peak by putting. Your pitching wedge would be much more suited for this particular bird murder. Also, these three penguins all fall simultaneously, but defy Newton's second law by hitting the first part of the Rube iceberg machine in consecutive fashion. Rico doesn't choke and die after ingesting this large egg. And yes, this is Rico's thing, but it's still bullshit. Here's an extra 20 sins to cover all the rest of the times the large item swallowing happens. These penguins are now shot to a height higher than the original fall, but don't need any Deus Ex Machinas this time to survive the impact.
I think I have amniotic sac in my mouth.
Amniotic fluid, maybe, but bird eggs have more of an amniotic cavity than a sac. And honestly, it's much more likely that you got splashed with some albumin. Bird brain. Cool, got it. This section takes place sometime after I've decided to watch this movie. I'm going to say it's 2185. Cool. So, sometime in 2185, continue.
10 years ago on this very day, a tiny egg hatched.
His egg hatched in 1933, not 2175. This movie is having major issues with its timeline continuity. This attempt at camouflage doesn't even really work from the audience's elevated perspective, let alone from the perspective of this guard who is watching them roll directly at him.
Rico, sonic incursion device.
Where the f*** are they keeping that hidden? Actually, now that I say that out loud, even if you have that info, I am no longer interested in knowing it.
Oh, come on, you're kidding, right?
Kentucky, Skipper.
They do love their flattened scrugs.
All those 5- and 6-year-old flattened scrug fans in 2014 were all in after this line of dialogue.
We got you something else.
Requiring all Fort Knox employees to walk through the most secure room on site to get to the break room.
You mess with a bull, you're gonna get the horns, Private.
Dismissing the need for consent based on the horniness of the offender.
Where'd Private go?
Oh, there he is. D3.
Okay, look, how hard is it to animate f***ing vending machine numbers correctly? First, he's not in D3, he's clearly in E3. Second, why the f*** is row G skipped and it goes straight from F to H? This machine has rows numbered A, C, C, E, F, H, I. Wait. Are there 2 row C's? When I press C3, how does the machine know which one to even give me? Not that it matters, considering every single vending slot is the same exact product, which leads me to ask, why the f is F3 mostly empty? Are those where the best cheesy dibbles live? Oh, and don't even get me started on a touchpad going to L and 9 when there isn't even a need to go past I or 5. I said don't even get me started. Speaking of I5, why does the I roll make the I's look so much like the number 1? You know how many people are going to punch in 15 instead, do you? It's a f***ing lot, you moronic Ven f***s. A lot. And wait, is F3 mouth full again? How lazy do you have to be? That's it. Done. I'm out. When they ask you what happened, tell them it was a vending machine that ended me.
Not making the walls in Fort Knox vending machine proof. Making this vending machine a TARDIS but not realizing it now stands for time and relative dimensions in stupidity. Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, f that noise, I'm back. But I swear if that vending machine returns, I will... Wait, why is the button to prepare the laser over here instead of with the other laser controls?
Naughty, naughty. Pretty birds belong in their cages.
Discount Bill Hader is not voiced by actual Bill Hader.
Dave! Dave! Dave!
This Dave's on for all the some time. Seriously, cut back to it. I bet it's still daving.
Ah.
See?
Sorry.
Madagascar spin-off movie decides to incorporate jokes that even f***ing Shrek wouldn't use, and that is depressing.
You may not remember me, but I could never forget you. Let's shake up some old memories.
Keeping your vengeance snow globes on display, just in case you need to do some flashback exposition. This whole using his tank water for the toilet refill tank thing is kind of genius, but that's way too much water to use on every flush, so your lack of environmental awareness is getting you a sin.
Nicholas Cage them.
These terrible name puns that will run through the entire movie. Aaron, Taylor, John, sin them.
You messed with the wrong birds, because we are an elite unit. Best of the best.
Scene does not contain an Eric Roberts, a Christopher Penn, or a Philip Ree. Thinking umbrellas are trampolines. I blame Mario. F Mario.
So, you squeegees want to do the gondola mambo?
Doing the gondola mambo.
I've lost visual. Kowalski, be my eye!
Or you've got 3 penguins available to do your job, who can actually see. This scooter is able to support the weight of the boat and all 5 passengers. And for those viewers now shouting, it's an animated movie, give me a break, I would like to welcome you to the channel. And then welcome you to f*** off.
We've got melons! Get ahead!
Thing every thirsty teenager in 1997 said when they realized Titanic was rated PG-13 somehow makes its way into the script.
Remain calm, penguins.
Benedict Cumberbatch isn't butchering the word penguin in this scene.
Private, dibble me.
Thinking that Rico would store a full bag of dibbles in his esophagus of holding instead of just eating them.
Like penguins.
Benedict Cumberbatch butchers the word penguin in this scene.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
You know, you should really label these things.
And cover them. And add progressive steps to the activation. And locate it away from the main console. And also a self-destruct sequence that can be turned off by simply pressing the exact same button again.
Arrival. Pad 17.
Not clearly labeling your arrival pad so the pilot can tell where the f pad 17 is.
Dr. Brian is not an octopus. He is...
An octopus. Precisely. That's exactly what our intel indicated. Release the sheep.
Letting this suspicious sheep go without at least double-checking your new information first.
Damn it, Dave.
This not getting Dave's name right bit stopped being funny around the 3rd time and hasn't resumed being funny the 17 times since. I shall let you know if that changes.
I have to go do some shopping for revenge.
Where do you even go to purchase revenge? I mean, that feels like something Spencer Gifts might carry, but they would always be sold out of it, and you would have to settle for a fart jar or a 42-inch good guy doll.
Oh yeah, baby! It's like Super Bowl 19.
Is that a reference to the pregame jetpack show at Super Bowl 19? What in the obscure reference, hell?
I make my own options.
Damn it, is every button in this universe installed for maximum safety hazard?
Aim for first class!
Aim for first class? Let's start with how the f did you manage to fall through the exterior of the plane? Pilots of this plane have yet to do anything about the penguin on the dash, despite him being there for almost 10 seconds now.
Cause these folks are gonna freak!
I can no longer sin that it's not this easy to pop open an emergency exit door, but I can sin that it is apparently sometimes this easy to pop open an emergency exit door.
Oh, Private, stop playing with those backpacks.
Humor-based situational awareness. These penguins know what a plane is and that croissants come from Paris, but parachutes? Never heard of them. Bending it like BCAM.
We are the North Wind, and no one breaks the wind.
Get it? It's a fart joke. Do you get it?
Sorry, laddie.
Oh, look at that cute little baby squid. Now we get to go back where it was. Where to be bought and boiled to death before being devoured by a human. This movie is adorable.
Stranded on the Emerald Isle without a single clue. Well, so much for the luck of the Irish.
From someone who has seen more Notre Dame football games than I care to count, I can almost guarantee you there is no such thing as luck of the Irish. Conveniently timed regurgitation of convenient plot globe that is conveniently pointing to the convenient place the penguins already conveniently are is convenient. This kid not only picks out Rico to get the snacks out of, but somehow knows that if he just reaches down the throat of a penguin, he'll be able to find something. And why are these kids who came in this place with no backpack not concerned that they now have backpacks on? F***ing kids. No one sees this severely conspicuous sea-suit sushi snacking.
I want to help the team. Really help the team.
Movie is trying desperately to get me emotionally invested and skip.
Flash, it's a go.
The 4 words Warner Brothers regrets saying a few years ago somehow made their way into the script. These leopard seals are about to break through this glass, and beyond the nightmare that is thinking this would even be possible, why does the water that spills out barely cover the floor of this room? I've seen Mission Impossible, and that tank was much smaller. I know what this should look like. The penguins just walked right in the area with no issue. So why do Classified and company have to sneak in? I know Hollywood thinks we love seeing circles cut through walls and glass, and to be fair, we absolutely do, but I'm me, so f*** off. I guess this movie has decided that leopard seals are the glass breakers of the sea, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Too much, too much, too much, too much, too much!
Thinking that this movie has any clue whatsoever when it's reached too much. So earlier when Corporal said, "Go fetch," he had to go get this device so he could, what, stationary zipline in front of a boat he could have just ridden on to begin with? And why did he have to fetch it in the first place instead of just grabbing it and hooking it on while running on the dock? Was your dog's fetch things joke really worth it, movie?
Kowalski's sick as a dog. Enrico keeps trying to eat him.
Penguin cannibals. Penguinables? Caningwins? Also, I did not have Penguin Centipede on my Sins bingo card today, but here we are. Marking your days on the outside of your cell where you can't even see them.
Those two are very close. Together. I mean, intertwined. Physically.
This movie is horny.
Divers.
Divers.
Die.
I picked the die version. Can someone make sure this is the die version?
We celebrate with a well-earned high one and feast off Dave's sweet remains.
So Dave's remains would turn into a pineapple? I'd, at the very least, rather watch the movie where that happens than this.
Corporal, dim the lights. Short fuse, glasses.
Corporal doesn't end up with at least third-degree burns on his paw after putting out the fire with it.
See that?
I don't even look back. There's a huge explosion and I just keep walking.
Pointing out your own cliches.
His is better.
Well, considering you were already beaten 4-2 before you voted, Skipper, not sure why your comments matter. But yet we still have to take time out of our lives to listen to them.
We take this shame to our graves.
Being ashamed of these spiffy duds, but not being ashamed to run around the first half of the movie covered in cheesy dibble dust.
The movies.
All right, boys, grab your coconuts and hold them tight.
Get it? It's a testicles joke? Do you get it? Also, where the were they keeping the coconuts hidden? Actually, now that I say that out loud, even if you have that info, I am no longer interested in knowing it.
Horrible mutant penguins unleashed on the streets of New York City.
Teasing us with a much better finale than the movie delivers. So does it reload now? Is there a full new chair that comes out? Why waste ammunition and supplies on a pre-ride audience demonstration?
Oh no, we're dead! Dead! Dead!
Dead.
Again, huge army of octopi.
Perhaps he's having trouble understanding your incorrect plural for octopuses. Octopi is a very different thing that combines sushi and dessert, similar to Kikamari.
Listen up, Doris.
It's worth mentioning that Skipper has correctly identified this person as Dave for the last 30 minutes of the movie, but is returning to this tired joke now because comedy! Feeling the need to write out that it's New York for us when we can see the f***ing Statue of Liberty.
Breaking news! The missing penguins have been found!
I'm gonna go ahead and say missing penguins would never get breaking news treatment in New York City. Maybe in Boise, Idaho, but not New York City. Thinking that these barriers could stop penguins from escaping when we've already seen them do this and this.
Somebody called the exterminators!
We're apparently ready with a line of extermination vacuums to pull up in dramatic fashion just like they teach in extermination school.
Don't eat that!
Having the same fears as DJ Khaled.
I need my skipper.
Hey, that's me. He's talking to me. I'm the skipper. I've got you, little buddy. Skip. That cookie/cake looks lovely, but where and how exactly do you bake that in the Arctic? The Avengers spin is the new Matrix bullet dodge, isn't it?
I figured if we could reverse the ray, we could turn everyone back to normal.
They will now figure out how to reverse the ray.
I the secret weapon.
I no longer know what's going on, guys.
Charlize, they're on the ray! Helen, hunt them down! Doc William, hurt them! Hallie, bury them! You, Jack, man the battle stations!
Okay, game recognized game. That was a good run. Jeffrey, rush into sin removal before I change my mind.
We're only gonna get one shot at this, boys!
How could you possibly know that? You don't even know if the ray is going to do what you want it to do.
Dead batteries!
No, low batteries. There's a difference, and that difference is the sum of a single sin. Not checking what kind of batteries you need before going to the store to get batteries.
There's just too many of them!
I scream, you scream, we all scream for Deus Ice Cream enough.
Oh, that's why you look back at the explosion.
You were sideswiped by the vehicle, so looking back wouldn't have done a thing to help you. Even if I could believe that the Dibble Skibber launches would stay on course to hit the button activating the machine, I still can't buy that the Dibble would be able to apply enough pressure to push the button that would activate the machine.
Private.
Saving Private Ryan.
Looks don't matter. It's what you do that counts.
And ironically, what he did was save how everyone looked, which you're now saying doesn't matter. So, way to contradict your own lesson, bro. The transition from this to this is all the bullshit.
What? Are you kidding me?
Also, to be clear, the movie expects us to believe Dave was shrunk and then placed inside a snow globe by the machine. That is a thing that is actually happening right now.
The point is, I was wrong about you.
You were not.
Jetpacks are awesome!
I honestly thought jetpack technology would be cooler by 2185. Ah, well.
You people are sick, wicked, funky, misanthropic, codependent animals.
This is your emergency broadcast system. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime will be legal for 12 continuous hours.
You know what the Ukraine is? It's a sitting duck.
A road apple, Newman. The Ukraine is weak. It's feeble.
Ow!
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Now who'd like a cookie?
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
It's the circle of life.
Hurry it up, I'm late.
Who are you?
He is a friend.
Give me the box!
No.
The box? You can't transfer me!
Let me show you something, okay?
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
I'm gonna kill you! I quit!
She was your biggest fan, and you threw her away. And if you can't see that, that's your biggest problem. And I love her. I love her.
Like you love the beach or a good book.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Your only job was to look after Rakim. How could you let him come to such a pass?
I think Moto likes you.
Hello, Moto. It was all my fault. I turned my back for a minute and...
It's not your fault.
You were born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Look, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Land shark. Cleverest species of them all.
I knew that girl was a slut the second I met her.
Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of complicated. I mean,
Hey, don't make excuses. She's a dime store hooker and she always will be.
But it's only fair to warn you that I am a protege of Fosse and Robbins.
You do Fosse. You do Martha Graham.
Viking Julian, that's my name, only had 2 days left to live. I would do all the things I've ever dreamed of doing.
Like what?
To tame Komodo dragons in Sri Lanka and teach them to perform Hamlet.
Yeah, it's a good observation, Shirley.
And don't call me Shirley.
A miracle happened.
And I want you to fucking acknowledge it.
Run, Marty!
Who do you think? The Libyans!
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
Dental plan.
Lisa needs braces.
That's my baby! Well, you can guess what happened next.
Therefore,
As if I am only 16 and this is California, not Kentucky.
we'll be rich. The rules of physics don't apply to us.
Trying to visualize the physics at play
is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard.
Guys?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Home!
Home!
Home.
Cheeseburger.
Bunch of jackasses standing in a circle.
When I was 7, I strangled my first parrot.
It has ceased to be. It's expired and gone to meet its maker.
Yeah, it's a very high rock.
A really high rock.
And then I roar like a serious roar.
And then... Now it comes to it. I don't feel like parting with it. It's mine. I found it. It came to me.
And we so much can eat as much as we want, and we never get heavy because of olive oil. So that's what we say.
The people, they loved it.
I call it Phase 4-7B. We're in.
You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
Are you just gonna turn your back on them and sit and eat Cheetos? It was always impossible, Vitaly. That's why the people loved it.
They're great.
Very good. Push. Rico, sonic incursion device.
Open the f***ing door.
Kowalski, analysis.
Well, let's see. First, the Earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came. But they got too big and fat, so they all died, and they turned into oil.
The only thing that has kept me going all these years is my burning thirst for revenge!
And my precious souvenir snow globe collection.
A snow globe collection.
Damn it, Dave.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
Yes, we've got you. That's fantastic.
Now, where was I?
Maniacal laugh.
They gave us badges.
We don't need no badges.
Is penguins. Crested penguin. Parent penguin heading.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
It's like I can still hear his little voice calling to us.
We're here! We're here! We're here!
No!
Hanging around. Kid's got alligator blood. Can't get rid of him.